Hello and welcome back to Garen Reaver vs. Settlers 2 Gold Edition. We are continuing the Roman campaign into Chapter 3, The Pass. 17th day of the third month of the third year. We've now created something of a routine in establishing a viable settlement. Everything should now work like clockwork. Did clockwork exist when the Romans existed? I feel like clockwork came after them. We came across another castaway. He warned us against hostile Nubian tribes in the east of the island. The mountains in the east also allegedly had large amounts of gold. The man knew nothing about a gateway, but he was only familiar with a small part of the island. Okay. Well, something I would like to mention is that I sort of learned a bit from the previous one of these, in which Oh, that was a terrible setup. Try that again, Garen. To there, and then to there, that's much better. Basically, these are taking a lot longer to play than I expected. Chapter 2 took me about 2 hours, just over 2 hours, so it's going to be difficult to edit these down into a single video each. So we're going to go with, I'm going to aim for 2-parters. So I just thought I'd mention that up front. Another thing I learned from the previous one is that you need to set up quickly. You need to... Oh, that's a beautiful little island. You need to set up, quite quickly. So whereas normally with this kind of game I tend to play very slowly, set up the woodcutter, then the sawmill, then the etc. More in the case with, a farm, and then when the farm's built, you build the mill. When the mill's built, you build the bakery, because they're not useful until the previous one's built. This game is quite slow. It's a very slow burn, so I feel it's better to build it up all at once and sort of go from there. So to that end, let's start off with 3 barracks. Barrackses? Baracki? 3 baracki. There's a zoom? Sorry, I noticed there's a keyboard layout thing, and here it mentions zoom current window. I legitimately did not know that this thing had a zoom. I remember it having a zoom back in the day, but See, I'm doing that thing I just said I shouldn't do. I set the farm building and nothing else. So I should see about where I can put other stuff. But farms are tricky because they take up so much area, I was wondering why I kept hearing sheep. It's because of the sheep. You get sound from the observation windows, it keeps catching me out. Another thing I learned before was don't build the baracki right in the center of the big open areas. Yeah, it grabs you more land quicker, but at the same time it does away with all of those really good castle locations for farms, So it's better to skirt the mountains, that way you get as much as the mountain as possible, and then maybe put in 1 or 2 to capture the intervening land if it doesn't quite grab it. Yes, geologist, yes, zoom in. Yes, geologist, find water right there, I dare you, go on, find water, go on, that's a perfect place for a well. Go on. Yippee! Fantastic. Cool. That well will help feed my bakery and mill. I think the bakery uses it. I can double check that with the distribution of goods. Bakery does use it. Fantastic. Okay, cool. So I'm going to have a bread production line set up well ahead of the farms. Not farms, the other thing, mines. Speaking of which, let's find some ores. Oh, there's a thing I always do with this island. As soon as I saw it, I remembered it. I build little roads around it and make it all pretty. So I've set up a couple of farms and the bread baking business. Also got some fisheries to have just opened up, ready to start fishing. I guess the next focus should be mines, because those are a load of signs on these. And I suppose I should be collecting the stuff. Oh, we have a donkey road, but no donkeys. So I think it's about time I got a donkey breeder. By stripping away some of these really inefficient roads, some of the roads I've done are just awful. I mean, look at this, spidery mess. I have managed to find a castle space Gold. Ah, gold in these tiny little hills up here. So I'm guessing it's like you get a little bit of gold here, but for the most of it you got to go eastwards? Now we've hit that point again, run out of boards. I think it's the sawmills. I think I'm not placing enough sawmills. Over here with this quarry and all this wood, a medium might give me an opportunity for a storehouse. And if I can get a second medium, maybe by clearing away some of these trees, I'll also be able to get a sawmill up here and have like another tree farm over here, because I'm setting one up here. We've got a forester that's slowly being built, although that's not really the most opportune place for it. It's hard knowing like good places for stuff. Like I'm trying to work out where to put like the smeltery, armory, metalworker, but like there are mines here, there are mines up here, and I sort of want to keep the open space in between them for farms. So I'm thinking here, maybe? And if I fit the 3 of those in there, looks like one of my beloved woodcutters is finished. Burn it next to the farm. I mean, it's next to the farm anyway, but you know, I just want to highlight that there is a raging unchecked fire right next to a farm. Always like when that happens. I did it again, didn't I? I set off making the iron smelter and it's like, no, I'll build the armory and metalworks later. Do it now, Garen. Do it now. Ah, we have a donkey, so the donkey breed is working. Fantastic. It's weird that it chose that as the first donkey road, but sure. Let's also get a mint up here where the gold is, and probably a good measure to connect a coal mine to the same road point. I feel I've definitely overcome my fear of building too many things, and in doing so have created a problem where I'm building too many things. Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 buildings in construction right now. Under construction. Whatever. Based on the fact that it built the sawmill and it's building these, that tells me that like the things it prioritizes for getting building materials are how close they are to where the materials are coming from. Because this barracks has been here for ages and had absolutely nothing sent to it. So it has to be sort of proximity. Now this is a bit of a bold new strategy for me. It's not something I've ever tried in this game before. Having like multiple quarries. So I've got 3 to be built around here and 2 around here. Because like theoretically there is no negative to it. Like because I looked up some what buildings use what essentially, to try and work out what use stone, and almost all sort of small buildings only use wood, the exceptions being, I think, the guardhouse, and maybe one more that I don't recall off the top of my head. No, I think it's actually just the guardhouse. Everything else just uses wood in the small. Medium, I think most of them use stone in small quantities, and then large uses obviously more. But it means that I can go a bit more nuts with the small buildings like the quarries and, well, I'm already going nuts with the woodcutters, but, you know, barracks, they just use wood. So you can just build as many as you want because wood is a very renewable resource. Turns out there is space here for a sawmill when the trees are cleared. So let's stick a sawmill there. That woodcutter's not going to be there, but I'm probably going to put like a forester or something in here and have this as a... Actually, that's a pretty good place for a forester. And just have like a renewable forest here as well. So with the quarry and with that renewable forest along with the one over here, that should cover my wood needs where there are storehouses. I also feel I was underutilising my little carriers, helpers, because they are a replenishable resource. Like, I'm sure they do just go back up to 100 and stay around there. But I should be placing flags very frequently on my, particularly on the travel routes like this one, where there's going to be like the gold mines, so you're going to have a lot of food going up, and the mint with a lot of coins coming down. But the more flags you have, the quicker stuff moves. Actually, if I just dig up those two and then just have a direct route across, that'll also speed it up because nothing should need to go there. The storehouse is ready. Fantastic. So all of this stone from this quarry should go directly into this one and just give me a much more forward supply base. there go 2 more woodcutters, who sadly could not quite reach these ones, so I'm going to get a woodcutter here just to, you know, finish off the job of ruining nature. Part of the reason I'm sort of rushing the quarry stuff is if I'm having, like, the trees here, I want to have a sawmill around here. But for that, I need the stone out of the way. At the moment, I've got, like, 2 here and 1 more over here. But they're sort of out of the way, like, you have to take them past their headquarters to take them to the sawmill and then double back. And that's just not ideal. I think brewery is one of the few things that I'm sort of missing at this point. Have I run out of woodcutters? Because that one isn't being occupied. I have. I've run out of woodcutters. Huh. Well, hopefully the metalworks will make an axe. Because the most you can do is here, you sort of choose the priority things. But, I mean, for a start, rolling pins, not made of metal, but whatever. But this isn't a particularly precise thing. Presumably it's like, when it goes to make one, it has a look and then it's chance-based, I think? I don't really know. By the look of it, this swamp is completely impassable, which is really awkward because it is bloody huge and does not leave a lot of space. Oh, that flag has a black line through it, meaning it is somewhat near the enemy border. These must be the East Mountains that are full of gold. I'm very hesitant to build, like, so that they see me. I feel like they'll get more aggressive then. Looks like we've overcome the lack of boards problem because they seem quite stable despite fairly consistent building projects going on. Ooh, this must be very uneven ground. Look, despite it looking... I suppose it gets darker there. I suppose that's supposed to represent hills, I suppose. Do you suppose? Things have largely slowed down now. I'm focusing quite a lot on sort of developing this area, packing as many things into this space as I possibly can, and it is a bloody mess. Like, is this a good mess or is this a bad mess? Technically, none of the roads are very long, so stuff travels across this area very quickly, especially with the donkey path going through the middle. But, like, is this bad design? I don't know. In most other games, having a lot of junctions like this really slows it down, but this game is built around having the junctions, you know? So, I think that makes it good design? I really can't tell. Meanwhile, up here, the recent expansion has given me 2 more quarry locations, because both of these deposits are basically out now. That's, I think, got one load left, and that's probably not far behind. Yep, that's dropped down to 0 productivity, meaning there is no more stone. Cool, that's cleared up an area, but I don't see... maybe it's hidden behind these, but that's the only thing larger than a small, meaning I was hoping to have a sawmill here, but that looks unlikely. Do you think it's silly to build a woodcutter to cut down like 3 trees? Because those ones don't really make much difference. But, like, there's open land here, and there are trees, and they're in the way, so death to trees! Now that I have a source of sword shields and beer, as well as coins coming in, it's probably about time I made the push. So let's go with the guardhouse. Let's encounter the Nubians. What you can do with these, because you'll notice these are like a different kind of flag with an anchor on them, you can build a waterway, which is essentially, you can barely see it, but it's a water route. Ah, here he comes. Mr. Canoe Head. And then what he does is when he reaches the water route, he rows out, and it's basically like an ordinary carrying route at that point. He will just transport stuff across the water if it needs to go there. And then when you dig it up, he just walks across water, as Romans are wont to do. Damn, even with the quarries gone, this is still the only sawmill possible location, so I'm going to have to put that there. I've connected 3 new mines to the system, a gold, an iron and a coal, because we seem to be doing pretty well for food. Pig farm is about the only thing I need to add to the system, but I don't really know where I can. Oh, this woodcutter's done. Okay. I keep finding just like isolated woodcutters and thinking, why is that there? Oh yes, there were once trees in this area, but no more. Now the guardhouse is ready. How many are going that way? I should have plenty to spare. How many have I got? Got 14 privates at the moment. And 13 coins. So I'm going to leave this one coin available. Because if they are just on the other side of these mountains, then this could be a frontline one. 23rd day of the 12th month of the 3rd year. We came into contact with the Nubians. Their behaviour is very threatening, but not openly aggressive. Their behaviour will probably change before long. We should build a lookout tower so that we can keep a closer eye on their lands. The reports of rich gold deposits seem to be true. The Nubian chieftain struts around in his gold jewellery like a peacock. Seems a bit condescending, but okay. Lookout tower. Well, that's convenient. Oh, yeah, there's the line. Alright, let's try a lookout tower then. But there isn't space for me to build there. I suppose instead of the lookout tower, if I had... Actually, the lookout tower is just going to give me, like, an area view. There is no fog of war, so theoretically I could build the lookout tower and then demolish it and build a military building instead. Because, you know, you don't lose vision, so that's not a bad idea. What I've done is I've increased the centre of country, which is the one black line, to maximum. And therefore we should have more soldiers, yeah, here they come, to come and occupy these two locations. Because something that I think is the case is that... Oh, why am I pushing that? That's odd. Is that a coin can, I think, upgrade more than one person at a time. So if you have, like, loads of people in here, it will upgrade all of them at once, rather than just, like, letting it do it one by one and essentially losing some of the value of the coin. And if the enemy's there, let's move these three things out. So they should all get sent to the storehouse here, which is not a massive amount closer, but it is closer, and therefore new soldiers will come from here instead of from here. Gold found. Oh! Tiny bit of gold. No more stone. This place is all tapped out as well. I guess it's quite awkward that my mint is literally the furthest possible point from the front line, but I suppose it's also safe there, you know? Why are they not getting promoted? Oh. Oh, yeah, just promoted those two. Cool. What's that scout doing here? Oh, he occupies the lookout tower. That's cool. I assumed he would just be an ordinary guy. Oh, wow, that is quite a view. Okay. So, that's where they are, and they extend around the mountain. Alright, well now I burn that, and I don't lose the view. Fantastic. Oh, there's a black line on that one as well. Does that mean that's near? Oh, of course, because it extends around here. In that case, let's have a guardhouse here as well. That farm might be a bit too close to that one. Like, they might overlap a bit too much. And the pig farm might be a bit too close on that side, so hopefully it still has space for its fields. I just love this, like, hive of activity in the middle here. I'm quite proud of it, even if it is an absolute flaming mess. I mean, speaking of flaming messes, that was not deliberate, I swear. I'm keeping an eye on the lookout tower so I can build a guardhouse as soon as... Piglets! Look at the piglet, look at the piglet, so adorable. The site is clear. Build the guardhouse. I kind of feel like... Oh, no. Oh. No, that shouldn't... That should border me, but it shouldn't, like, take any land. Okay, it didn't even come to border. I still can't attack, though. I wonder, like... I don't know what the range is on attacks. I can actually, like, change... like more attackers and more defenders. So this is the number of people who like leave nearby buildings to come and defend them. And attackers, I assume that's allows you to choose how many people sort of go forward. So if I increase that to max, yeah, so that's freed it up now. Whereas normally it was like 0 at that range, that's increased it to 1. I've got a general here. I kind of think it might be worth going and sniping this. I also can't snipe that one. Because, like, this guy's just got a coin. So if I can snipe him before he gets promoted too much, then he'll actually be a lot easier to take out.